Hi, it's been a little while since I've done my last video with you. As you may remember, the last video we did, we were dealing with the concept of tensor rings and how they can be used to remediate EMF hypersensitivity. We're about ready to do a new video on that topic in the next few weeks. We've come up with some improvements in the technology and the products that we're going to be offering in that regard. So be on the lookout for that. Uh, we've also been offering pyramids, and the first order of connectors, which I ordered from Croatia, I fulfilled all of those. I have new pyramids connectors on order. So those of you who would be interested in pyramids, I'm also going to be having those available once again in the very near future, so be sure to contact us. But what I want to talk about today is actually a very practical issue that I have heard a lot of men complain about over the last year or so as I've become more attuned to the power of not only pyramids but tensor rings as well, and that's how poorly today's shaving razor blades actually hold up under the test of time. And of course, for those of us who shave every day, you know how expensive those razor blade cartridges have gotten as more and more blades have been added into that package by Gillette and Schick and all the other major manufacturers. A couple of years ago, I switched to Harry's in an attempt to keep my costs down. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about today is using tensor rings to extend the life of your razor blades. Interesting concept. As I started to do research a while back and began manufacturing pyramids, one of the many things that the information available, including Patrick Flanagan's series on pyramid power, references the ability of putting pyramid power to extend the life of razor blades. And I started that process last December. I decided to put my razor under a pyramid for a period of about a week, and actually it seemed to work. I know that doing that for many of you would not be a practical thing to do. It's expensive, and also it takes up a lot of space in your house if that's all you really wanted to do. But having worked with both pyramids and tensor rings, as I have in their manufacture, I know that we're working with the same field. And so I decided to do some experiments with the tensor ring and its ability to do the same thing with razor blades that the pyramids can. And so I've now been using, believe it or not, the same razor blade, Harry's razor blade, for 3.5 months since I pulled it out of the trash can after having used it about 2 weeks. That's about, I don't have the heaviest beard in the world, but 2 weeks was about as long as I could go without it getting painful. So about 3 months ago, as I was actually ordering my second round of pyramid connectors from Croatia, I decided to pull that out and to put my razor blade under or in the inside of a tensor ring. And I am now proud to report I've been using the same blade. It is now 3.5 months since I originally started this process, and I'm continuing to get a very good shave with no pain whatsoever. And what I'm going to do next is take you into the bathroom, show you how it works, and show you a little bit about the results and why we're doing this video today. See you in a moment. Okay, we're in the bathroom now, and I'm showing this video is showing you what the basic workings of this system are. All I do, I've got a special 3/8 cubit tensor ring that I produced for this particular application, and it's just the right size for placing your razor blade inside after each and every shave. That's really all that has to be done. There's no special cleaning, no special process. Just clean your razor, use it as you would every day. afterwards and put it into the tensor ring after usage. And hopefully you'll get the same and maybe even better results than I have. I'm going to continue this process over time, but I wanted to show you why I wanted to do this now at 3.5 months. I'm going to continue to do this as long as the razor blade that I have is structurally sound enough to allow me to continue to use it. I'm going to pick up the blade now and show you one of the problems that I'm having with my razor right now. If you'll notice, we'll see if this is showing up here, but there is a breakage that's occurring, and this blade has become quite flexible. So what I actually, after 3.5 months, you can maybe see it better there. You see that cut where the rubber is starting to degrade on the Harry's razor. It's happening on both sides. And what that's doing is it's forcing me to put my fingers like this on the razor as I shave, which is not causing me any harm or any difficulty, but it's what I'm afraid is going to happen. And the reason I wanted to do this today is to show you that I may not be able to use this much longer. Now, if you look at a typical Harry's blade, a newer one, you can see that issue doesn't exist. And so what I'm afraid is going to happen here, I may not be able to finish going as long as I theoretically could with this blade because of the degradation there in the rubber that connects the blade component onto the razor itself. But with that said, I've got 3.5 months. I'm going to continue to do these at maybe 1 month intervals. But this really has been a blessing, and I think for those of you who are tired of having your razor blades go dull after 3, 4, 5 shaving events, you can easily expect to, at least in this limited experience and that of others that I've had trying this out, to be able to double, triple, maybe even quadruple the life of your razor blade. And as I say, I'm going on, I've done 3.5 months now, and I'm going to continue to report on this as time goes on. Well, we're back now, and I wanted to give you a brief explanation of the history of this idea of using the field to help sharpen razor blades. Back at the end of World War II, the Red Army, as was the whole Soviet Union society, was short on essential goods and services throughout their economy. The Red Army was limited to getting 1 razor blade per month as a ration from the government. And those razor blades, not being of particularly good quality, would actually start to go dull after 2, 3, 4 uses. So it became somewhat commonplace in the Red Army that the soldiers would build these makeshift pyramids on their own out of whatever materials they could find readily available, and met with some decent success with using pyramids to sharpen razor blades. So this concept is not a new one per se. I think what is new, at least in this context, is taking that idea and using tensor rings as a replacement for the pyramids that the Russians were using back in that era. With that said, next I wanted to move on and let you know kind of what we're talking about in terms of the dollars and cents involved in shaving for males in America. Between sections here on this video, I went on the internet and looked up the price of razor blade cartridges in the United States, and wanted to kind of give you some of that information. What I did was to go to Walmart.com and also to Walgreens.com as 2 comparables that you could use to determine kind of what the cost of shaving might be. Uh, I looked up the two major manufacturers, Gillette and Schick. On Walmart.com, the latest technology from Gillette seems to be the Gillette Fusion Pro Shield. If I'm wrong, I apologize. That seems to be the most recent state of the art from Gillette. On Walmart.com, a two-pack of those razors, razor blades, costs you $11.97. So for all practical purposes, that's $6 a blade. If you buy them in an 8-pack, the cost goes down to $4.83 per blade. Now, if you go to Walgreens.com and buy the very same product, it's going to cost you about $1 a blade more. The Pro Shield in a 2-pack runs $7 on the Walgreens website, and it's $5.50 per blade if you use the 8-pack as your purchase quantity. Now, in terms of some of the older technologies for Gillette, the Mach 3 10-pack on the Walmart.com website is $2.25. The Gillette sensor, that's for a pack of 10. The Gillette sensor is $2.60 per blade for a pack of 10. And then finally, if you look at some of the Schick products on Walmart.com, the Hydro 5 in a 4-pack is $3.43 per blade, and the Hydro 3 is $2.46 per blade. So what I wanted to do is just kind of use some round numbers here. For those of you who may use alternatives such as Harry's, I've switched over to Harry's a couple of years ago. If you buy them in 8-packs, you get them for $2 a blade. And if you buy the 4-pack, I believe it's $2.50 a blade. I'm not positive on that because I haven't had to buy them in a long time. But no matter. What I did was to assume that a $5 per blade on average, if you buy one of those a week, you're looking at a total yearly cost of $260. If you use one every 2 weeks, it's $130, and if you use one a month, you're still spending $60 per year on razor blades. Now, if you're like me and you're using Harry's blades at $2 each, that yearly number, if you use one a week, is $104. It's $52 if you use two a week. And it's only $24 if you need a new blade once a month. As I've said, I'm now up to 3.5 months, so I'm seeing some tremendous savings. But what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting these blades on, the Tensor Rings on my website. I checked on the internet to see if anyone else was using Shaver's Best Friend as a logo or a name, and I don't think that anybody is. So when you go on my website, you'll see Tensor Rings, but I'm going to have a special section next to the Tensor Ring pull down called Shaver's Best Friend, and that's where you're going to want to look for this product. I'm going to make this product as inexpensive as I can. I'm going to be shipping this product inexpensively, and I'm going to be putting a guarantee on the product. If you don't like the product, or for some reason you don't find a significant benefit, for whatever reason, you can return the Tensor Rings that you purchased for full refund. You will be paying the shipping each way, but I will be guaranteeing you a full refund on the purchase price of the Tensor Rings that you purchase. And further, since I can ship multiple Tensor Rings for the same price with the U.S. Postal Service, there will be no additional shipping charges for additional Tensor Rings that you purchase under the Shaver's Best Friend program, and extra Tensor Rings are going to come in at a lower price than the first ring. So there's going to be some incentive for people to buy these for family and friends and give them away as gifts and so forth. So I hope you'll take a look. I think that this has some great potential for saving a lot of people a lot of money. Very easy product to use, and something that can save each one of us a fair amount of money over the year. So hope you'll take advantage of the offer, and I thank you for listening. Have a great day.